Who's ready to learn a little bit more about how to bake up some beautiful homemade? Are you ready? Hope so. Ooh, yeah. All right, let me give our last channel up. And we are gonna have some fun. That was the wrong button. This takes me so long. Like, I wish I could just have it ready to go out, but some of my stuff is just not working like it used to. So, here we go. Oh, this little screen is so small. Goal setting for success. There it is. Like, where's my group? All right, guys. So, have sound? Yeah, we do. Okay, y'all, let's dive into today's quick class. So today we are talking all about homemade breads. And yeah, so today's been a little nutsy crazy for me. Like always, life is always nutsy crazy, right? Like, seriously, how many of y'all, like, totally just feel me? Like, life is always just like, go, 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 go. You got to get everything done. You got to make sure you're taking care of this and that and just never stop moving. Some days it feels like that. But you know what? It's kind of fun. So like this morning I got wrapped up in working on some of our latest videos, and wow, yeah, so it's amazing. It truly is amazing how long it can take to edit out a 20 to 30-minute video. Ooh, especially like one that's already basically done. You're just going through and doing all the final edits, and there's all those little tiny moving pieces, and it does. It takes time. It just takes time. But you know, I kind of enjoy it, to be completely honest. I do. I kind of enjoy it. But for my jewelry makers, you might like to hear that because I'm working on our video for you, okay? So if you love our wire work, especially our crazy wire work designs, yeah, I've got a video for you guys that's coming out. So I've been busy up here on the bench wrapping up, or not even wrapping up, I'm still building them, but getting all of the jewelry made for our spring launch. And it's our crazy wire work and all of our beautiful washer earrings and beaded earrings, and I still got to sit down and do all of the necklaces and all the fun things that go with these. And I'm still building earrings too, so I've still got a full bench of just earrings. I haven't even got started on our bracelets and everything, but that's okay. So anyway, y'all, we have a new jewelry video coming out this week, so stay tuned for that. But today we're talking about homemade breads, right? Right? I want you to start finding success in baking your homemade breads. So if learning some of these old-timey kind of skills is something that you really want to learn how to do, honey, I want you to come and join me. And if you're just a busy parent that would love to learn how to find the time to finally start baking your homemade breads, or possibly start baking with success for the first time, possibly ever, I want to make this so much easier for you. I've heard y'all, the struggles, and like I've shared in your tears and your emotions and just all of it, and it breaks my heart when I know there's an easier way. And I remember what it was like in the very, very beginning, y'all. I do. I remember how hard it was. I remember all of the mistakes that I made. And, and just having the lack of support. Like, I love my family. Don't get me wrong. My family is amazing. I really have an amazing family. But there are some things that my family just doesn't get. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of things that they do that I just don't get. I'm like, okay, whatever floats your boat, honey. You do you, boo. We all have our own loves. We all have our own passions. We all have our own things that we really, really, really want to do. I'm going to bump this camera down. I'm like way, way up here. So just in case, if this is the first time you guys have joined us in these lives, my name is Crystal, here with Milled Artistry. Hang on. We've got something going on with this camera, so just a second. Did we refocus? Ah, we did. I was like completely like fuzzed out. All right. But my name is Crystal Imison with Milled Artistry, where we proudly craft one-off items, and we have a very special one-on-one connection that we make with our customers, from whether they are one of my students in the kitchen learning how to bake homemade breads using old pioneering methods that literally have come straight from the books and the stories that have been handed down, and the baking methods that have been handed down over the generations from the original settlers right here in our hometown valley, in Star Valley, here in little old Wyoming, y'all. And it's just really beautiful to keep that history alive. Whether that history is being kept alive through our baking courses, our tutorials, or whether we keep that history alive through the jewelry and their, the inspiration behind them that comes from individuals such as my own grandmother, or different time periods throughout history, and reimagining and reinventing them for our modern day lives that can give you this beautiful, classical, timeless kind of look, but still have that edge and that punch that just allows you to be free and just spunky and whatever the hell it is that you want to be, honey. Like, just lets you like really embrace yourself. And they're pumped full of all these beautiful energies, and just, I love it. I love it. I do. And we're finally getting to the point where we're bringing back our home goods. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for it to finally warm up so I can actually get back down to the wood bench. So as soon as I can get back in my wood shop, and not freeze to death out there, because it's cold here, y'all. It's frigid cold still here. And we're still getting dumped on. Like, we've got another storm coming in tonight. That's just the life. But, so I'm really excited to finally get back down and start woodworking, because that's literally taking me back to my roots. Like, I was born into woodworking, and, so I love it, and I'm excited to get back to it. So, my dears, enough spilling on all these things. Oh, honey, let's talk for just a moment about setting goals. When you want to get started baking bread, and you want to be able to do it consistently and successfully, yes, you can figure out how to do this on your own. But I'll tell you what, it's so much easier to have someone that's gone before you to help you find that easier path. It really is. And when you're setting your goals, those goals are going to vary and be different for every single person, okay? Your goals start with what you realistically will do, okay? Not what you can do, but what you realistically can do. And you've got to remember that life is always going to be changing. As I've told you before in previous sessions of this live challenge, you have to remember what it is that you really are willing to do. It is one thing to say that you can do all this, and in truth, you can, but it's a whole nother thing to actually do it. So, for example, when I'm editing all of our videos, there's so many moving pieces, and if I'm not careful, I will lose track of time. And it is so easy to end up putting together this beautiful masterpiece of a YouTube video, but it ends up being 45 to an hour long. Y'all don't have that much time in your day. And I appreciate literally every single moment that you all are able to stop and take a moment from your day and come and join me, even if that's only for 10 minutes. Sometimes finding 10 minutes can be a chore. And I get that. I do. I truly get it. And my dears, I feel you. Every single time I talk to you guys, I know exactly what it is that you're going through. I have this unique ability that allows me to literally be like see and live things through someone else's shoes. I can't help it. It's something that just naturally happens with me. I know what that person's going through. I know what they're feeling. I know what they're thinking. Now, I'm not actually reading their mind or anything like that, but I know where you guys are coming from. This is a unique ability, and it does tie in with being empathic and all of that fun stuff, but it's more along the lines of allowing myself to see the truth of your reality. But I'm not you, which also allows me this beautiful ability of not being so close to the picture that I can't see past it. I'm on the outside looking in, which means I get to see the whole picture and all the stuff happening on the sidelines that you know is happening, but you just don't have the mental capacity to, step back and broaden your view to actually pay attention to it. And those outside influences can really sometimes mess up our own personal lives, even though we're like hyper focused on one thing. Okay? When you're setting your goals, always give yourself at least 3 times the amount of time that you think it's going to take you. And, adjust that even more sometimes. So if you've got little kids like I do, sometimes having any time at all is like nearly impossible. Like I can hear them downstairs doing something right now already, and that scares the crap out of me because, well, yeah, guaranteed those two are up to something they're not supposed to be doing. And I literally just left their side just minutes ago. Yeah. We're getting the star of momhood today. Woo, we know they're misbehaving. We're up here chatting, right? That's another thing. When you got kids, y'all, you have to sometimes control yourself and just step back and remember that you have to let your kids make their own mistakes. All right? And for a parent to step back and not jump into the situation and take care of everything going on with your kids and not just, making it all better, making all the pain and the sadness go away and making everything so it's not scary no more and just making it all good. And, sometimes it's really hard to do that as a parent. Oh, it's really hard to let go of your kids and just let them learn from making their own mistakes. Like you can warn them, you can tell them, but it's still not going to change the fact your kids can't truly learn until they've done it. They can't truly learn what works, what doesn't work until they've actually just done it for themselves. You've already gave them that base background information, so if it's something they're not supposed to be doing, they've already had that warning that they need to approach the situation with caution. It doesn't mean that they're going to avoid it, okay? Seriously. Think back to when you were a kid. How many times did you actually listen to your parents? Even under the threat of a severe, beating? Really? How many of you actually listened to your mom and dad? No, it wasn't until, Dad walked in with his, gruff voice, and he's like, "What are you doing?" Knock that off. You can't do that. And all of a sudden you're just like, sitting in attention. I got it. Sometimes we got to talk to ourselves like that. So if you have a problem with actually sticking with your goals, you have a problem with actually getting it done, sometimes you need to actually stop and talk to yourself, not in the kind, loving, motherly way that we try to approach our children in today, but more in the approach of what really got your attention when you were a kid. Like that same tone, that same gruffness, that same firmness, and just like, what are you doing? Like, knock it off. You got to get this done. This is your job. You have to do this. This is your responsibility. It's not somebody else's. If it gets all messed up, then you're the one that's got to deal with cleaning it up. You got to deal with the consequences. You are the one that has to take care of it. You're the one that has to fix it. Because mom and dad aren't going to fix it for you. And frankly, if you are mom and dad and you are fixing everything for your kids, please stop. I know it's hard. It's hard. It sucks. And guaranteed your kids are going to turn into little rebels and little devils for a little while after you give them that leniency of, hey, it's your turn to just take care of this. You're mature enough. You can do this. You are physically capable of doing this, and you're going to start doing it for yourself. Well, your kids love that. Giving them that independence and that freedom and the knowing that when you let them do that, it instills trust into your kids, that they can trust you and that you trust them. Now, it doesn't always translate that way. Like that translation is going to vary by every person, okay? But when you give them that freedom to start making their own mistakes, that freedom to just do whatever it is that they're gonna do anyway, and to learn from that mistake, or to figure it out, the problem solving that goes into it, it's important for your children's mental development, right along with their physical development, like fine-tune motor skilling and problem solving, and just dealing with real life problems in their life. Okay, learning that there is something going wrong, something is happening, and being able to, for the lack of a better way to say this, but the ability to just suck it up and deal with it. Okay, to take that deep breath and to literally deal with the problems in their life. Okay. And even us as adults, sometimes we need that reminder that we have to take care of these problems. And if someone's not going to tell you, you've got to tell yourself. And sometimes you've got to be pretty gruff with yourself, because you need that shock moment of, hey, wake up, stop ignoring it. You know you have to take care of this. You know this is happening. You know there's something here that is not being dealt with. And you're ignoring it because you don't want to deal with it right this second, because you've got this happening, or this is going on, or such and such and such, okay? When you set your goals, remember, life is going to keep happening, and you're going to have all those things going on, which is why you always want to give yourself at least 3 times the amount of time to do it that it really actually takes. Not how fast you think you can do it, or how fast it should take so-and-so to do it. Literally, how long is it going to take you to do it? Like, full on, determined, I'm going to take care of this. How long is that going to take you? So, for example, baking homemade breads. The recipes I've been sharing out with you, y'all, and if you haven't yet, grab one of your free recipes up above and come join me in one of our bakes. I've got multiple tutorials for you, y'all, and you can find all of our latest tutorials over on our Facebook, or not on Facebook, over on our YouTube channel, okay? And you're going to find all of these trainings. Day 1 through 10 is going to be on our YouTube channel. So 1 through 9 is already there. And day 8, we had a live bake. Y'all baked side by side with me, okay? It was fun. It was beautiful. I love doing our live bakes. They always get a little out of control with my toddlers, but, you know, it's a beautiful thing, all right? So, I need a drink, y'all. When you're setting these goals, you need to remember that just because the recipes I'm sharing with you, for example, take an hour to an hour and a half on average, and that varies depending on the type of breads that you're making from them or the particular steps that you want to take, so that you're getting the right consistency and the right textures that you prefer. And I show you multiple different ways to do that in our trainings, okay? Sometimes just because it should only take an hour or an hour and a half, it might take you 2 hours to do it, because you're going to start that pre-proof and you're like, okay, so I've got 5 minutes. I'm going to, you know, go switch the laundry. And then you get sidetracked, and instead of just switching the laundry, you end up sitting in there and you end up folding all of it, and then you're putting it all away, and then walk back out to your kitchen and you've got a bowl just like everywhere, especially if it's not big enough. And when you got like just a little bit of flour and all that yeast and it's pre-proofing up, it's like a volcano, man. Like, you've got to have like a massive big old bowl, because especially if you do double batches like I do. I generally do a double batch. I had to like actually change the way I recorded my videos and the way I baked, just so that I could actually show you guys the correct way to do them. Because before, I was doing double what y'all were doing every single time. I was always doing a double batch. And I'm like, okay, so y'all, remember, all of your ingredients are going to be half of what I'm putting in, okay? Because, yeah. But that also meant that I had to, you know, start doing twice the baking, because I couldn't just whip them out all at the same time. I still do. I've got my own mad, you know, skills over here behind the background. So even though you guys only see one bake, I'm generally doing 2 bakes at the same time. But, you know, you've got to be willing to make those changes and those shifts in life, all right? And it's when you're willing to accept that this is not working for me, I need to change this. You got to give yourself permission to do that. But you also have to give yourself a little bit of grace, my dear. And you need to literally just take a moment and step back and go, okay, it's okay if I didn't get this done. It's okay if, you know, I didn't finish. It's okay if, you know, maybe I missed this mark today. Forgive yourself, honey, because this is life. Sorry, my little daughter thinks she needs some help. All right. There you go, my little Christmas pony. This kid goes through so many clothes in a day that it's not even funny. She's always changing. And she's obsessed with all of her Christmas jammies. So we go from one Christmas jammy to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. Like all day long, y'all. What you doing? Are you guys playing downstairs? Is that a yes? Oh! All right, can you give me 2 minutes? Mom's about to wrap up, okay? Because we got to keep this short. I keep, like, rambling too much. I'm not good with short and sweet, y'all. Just not good with it. Not even a little bit. Can't help it. I speak from emotion, not from... I really kind of truly lack the ability to articulate my sentences and my words short and sweet. Like, I truly just lack the ability. Oh, I thank you. Writing short and sweet? Oh, hell, honey, that's even harder. We all have shortcomings, right? Tickle tickles. Oh, you're silly. All right. I done forgot what I was actually talking about, y'all. I apologize. So set your goals according to what you realistically can do time frame wise, and then double or triple it, especially when you got little kids. Yeah, like honestly, I put a max of 3 things on my list to get done in a day, max. Yeah, I've got some other things sitting there that I would really like to be able to take care of, but I have 3 major things I have to get done every day, and I'm not always going to get all 3 done. It's that simple. So in that case, either I'm going to have to just keep on working late, or I'm going to have to get up extra early in the morning and take care of it. Now, I prefer getting up early in the morning, but anymore, getting to bed at a decent hour just doesn't seem to happen. So, not always necessarily my own children's fault, but they do have a tendency to add to it, y'all. All right. Set your goals for this week to literally just start baking. All right. Pick a day this week that you know that you can actually take that 15 minutes that you need to make your breads. Now, I say 15 instead of 10, even though, yes, literally it only takes 10 minutes of hands-on time to do it, but you've got like 5 minutes of just kind of prepping. That's cleaning the counters. That's getting all of your ingredients pulled out. And like with me, I tell you to do a 5-minute pre-proof. So, that takes a little bit of time. But during that time, that 5 minutes of proofing, I actually like to go through and like tidy up my kitchen, make sure it's actually clean and ready. So I use that time to finish putting my kitchen together, because I really don't like cooking or baking in a dirty kitchen. I have a serious problem with it. Could possibly be from all the years working tables, or even just growing up in the way that I did, where things just had to be clean, like they just did. So I don't work well with clutter. Clutter messes me up. Now, I like a lot of stuff around me, as y'all can tell. Like my workroom here in my office, I mean, there's a lot of stuff in here, guys. I like organized chaos. I'm an organized chaos person. But I don't deal well with just clutter, just crap, like taking up space. I don't deal well with that. And it like literally weighs me down, weighs my mind. And like I wear the stress like on my shoulders. Like half the time I look like I'm like, I'm like, because I'm so tense. And it's just because there's so many unfinished projects, so many like extra things laying around. And honestly, if you really want to start finding success, you'd be surprised how much you can get done in a day's time when you have gone through and just cleaned everything up before you start. Go through and get rid of all of that extra stuff, all the stuff that you don't actually use. Okay, go through and clean it up, and you'll be shocked at suddenly like the lift of the weight that comes off your shoulders. I noticed this when we moved out of the Westview house, our first home, and we had so much stuff in that house. Oh my gosh. Okay, so when we moved, like we had just huge yard sales. Okay, like we put practically everything we owned out there for yard sale, because we literally were moving out of a house and into our camp trailer. Okay, we sold our home and moved our family into our camp trailer. All right, because we were going to go hit the road and RV the backcountry for a year longer. We didn't know how long I was going to go. We didn't even have like a full plan to it. We were just going to use the money from the house and let it go for as long as it did after we paid the bills off. And if we had to, we'd pick up, a job as we were going along. And, and there were plenty of jobs along the way. And we had people ask us all the time, "You're still here? Hey, are you still thinking about coming to work for us?" I'm like, now, I believe you were the one that said that. No, I'm kind of enjoying, actually not being under the time card crunch. It's kind of a nice little breath of fresh air. Anywho, I'm getting off target. But we yard sold for like 2 weeks, like every single day. And then at the end, I had it all set up where we had, it was a kind of a charity organization that was coming through. They were setting up an auction for a local family that found themselves in a hardship, and they were needing a lot of help, and they had little tiny kids, and there was this injury, and just, life kind of just, hit a brick wall for them. And it was a way that we could help them, but it was also a way to help us get rid of everything too. So it was a win-win situation for both of us, all right? In the end, I literally donated an entire horse trailer load of stuff. I mean, we stuffed that trailer full. It was a full trailer. Now, it was a smaller horse trailer. But, honestly, when that trailer pulled out, like, I felt guilty because, like, I'm like, man, that's a lot of money, and I know we could have used it, and I could have pushed just a little bit harder to try to get it sold so that, at least we'd have that little bit of extra, to fall back on. But honestly, when that truck and trailer pulled out, it was just like instant, like, oh my God, this is beautiful. I didn't know how much just all of those boxes and the totes and all of the unused things that were literally sitting downstairs in my pantry/storage room were literally weighing me down. I didn't even know it. Honestly, when we moved back and when we moved into this house, that has been the hardest thing for me, because we now have all this stuff in the house we don't use again. We have all the extra things that are not actually necessary. I really have gotten to the point where I like just having a small selection of clothes and things like that. My kids, everybody laughs at me, actually. Like my brothers, my sisters, my own children and husband, they're just like, you need new clothes. I'm like, no, I don't. I'm good. I like just having just that small selection. I don't like having so many clothes packed into my closet that I literally can't even see them. Now, yeah, it's nice to have a new something every now and then. Like, literally, I buy clothes for myself maybe once every 3 years, with the exception of pants. So, like, I do go through pants a lot faster. But even then, I think I buy 3 pair of pants maybe once a year. And I don't buy pants until literally my pants are trashed. Like, I wear them till they're dead, and then I keep wearing them. So it's just kind of one of those things where I'm just like, it's just stuff that I don't need. I'm a very practical person. It's kind of weird, right? So I'm like this, jewelry designer, and I teach all about, helping you to style, like, help how to do your styling, things like that, so you can embrace yourself and, accent your body in just the right way for you, and all these different little things. I give all these little tips and advice, and I love fashion. I don't like having a lot of clothes, though. And even my jewelry, yeah, most of my jewelry is jewelry that I've made myself, with the exception of today. Like, these are not my own pieces. These are just my pieces. So they're pieces that have been given to me. And like, this necklace was handed down to me from my grandma. And oh, she was a fashion queen. Oh, she was like a very, very fashion forward lady. And then, like, this one, my parents actually got for me in Japan when they went and seen. She's practically my adopted sister. She was a foreign exchange student that stayed with us when I was a little kid. And yeah, she's our sister. It's just that simple. But mom and dad went and seen her one year. And yeah, and this one is a gift from my girls. This was a Christmas gift from my girls. Now, the earrings, yes, these do come from my shop, but it's just, I really only have just a handful of jewelry, and I like it like that. I do. I like it like that. But honestly, clearing the clutter out, oh, it's beautiful. Like I literally anymore, I go through my house every maybe 2, maybe 3 months, and I literally just like, we don't need this, out to the trash or out to donation, just get rid of it. I don't even bother selling it anymore. Yeah, it'd be nice to have that little extra cash flow, but I just don't have the time to deal with like trying to sell it out and trying to, meet up with everybody. And it's just like, I'm busy. I'm busy. It's just easier to just get rid of it. But, so it's, you've got to kind of pick and choose your battles, y'all. And it's no different when you're baking your breads. You've got to just look at those details and just go, okay, this is important. This is not. This is important. This is just kind of a filler. It's a nice touch, but it's not actually needed. So, you put those things kind of off to the side. They're kind of in that middle ground. It's okay if you keep them, and it's okay if you get rid of them at the same time. It's not going to hurt you or affect you either way. And then you've got those pieces where you're just like, we don't need this. Same thing with your time when you're managing your time. Just take those parts of your days or those activities that you always are doing and just kind of weigh them out. Is this really something that you need to be doing, or is there a better use for your time? Miss Bracky. So I'm going to grab her because otherwise she keeps jumping up on my jewelry bench and she's scattering my jewelry that I'm in the process of making. So she's got to stay here. So when you are doing all that planning, just seriously, it's okay to just get rid of the clutter, whether that's physical clutter in your home or that is just things that are cluttering up your time. So those little things that you're just like, oh, it just takes 5 minutes. But you know what? 5 minutes on 5 minutes on 5 minutes on 5 minutes. You get 100 5-minute projects. That adds up, y'all. And it doesn't take much to have all those little things add up. So the most helpful advice I can give you when you are starting to clean up your time so that you can actually make more time in your day, take a day and literally go through and just finish up all the loose ends around your house. Finish up as many of those loose ends as you possibly can, and just all those little details that you just keep putting off for a rainy day. It's like, I'll take care of that, tomorrow. And then you never get to it. Those things weigh up and they literally weigh you down. And you will be shocked at the difference that happens like the next day or even at the end of that day. You might be exhausted because you literally like worked your ass off just getting all these little details cleaned up and taken care of. No, you're going to stay here because you're not going to mess. But at the end of the day, it's like this huge weight just comes off your shoulders. And the next morning, honey, you'll be shocked at how fast your brain works all of a sudden. It's like your brain is just like on fire. It's like, ooh, we got to take care of this. We got to do that. We are going to get this all done. Yeah. You go that way. No. Sorry. Get to my table. Okay. If you're going to be in here, you're going to sit with me. She's like, but I really want to go get all the goodies. She's a sweetie. She's one of the little stray kitties that we brought in this last spring, summer, I don't even remember. They're like 9 months old or something. I don't remember. 9, 10 months. Might be 10 months. Anywho. See, we're still just little, but we're getting to be full-grown kitties now. Getting closer. Anyway, knocking off those things off your list is going to give you a lot more time in your day, okay? And just pick a day. Pick one day every week that you're just going to start baking. And I put out trainings all the time, honey. There are so many trainings available that I've done that it's insane. Like, I literally teach you for free how to do this. I do. I teach you for free how to get started. But if you really want to learn how to do exactly what it is that I do in the kitchen and managing the house and the kids and just all the things, come join me in Homemade Breads for the Busy Parent. So the wait list is open. I'm getting ready to open the doors. I got just a few little details to finish up before I open the doors up for enrollment again, because we just changed platforms. So it took me a little longer to learn my new platform. So, but I did that because I wanted a better experience for you as for my students. And I needed a platform that worked a little bit better for me, so I wasn't just spending all my time dealing with all the techie stuff. I want to spend my time teaching and talking with you guys and helping you get to where it is that you need to go and getting over all the problems that you're dealing with and all the fun stuff. I want to do that. I don't want to be stuck at my computer fixing one tech thing after another and just trying to get everything to load up correctly. And that was the problem that I had with my last platform. So I want an easy user experience for you and one that allows me the time that I need to actually help you how you need it. All right, my dears, join me tomorrow and we will talk to you later. If you enjoy these trainings, do me a solid favor. Make sure you like, love, and share these out to other individuals that you think might find value from their trainings, or that you think might be interested in learning how to start baking homemade breads from their own homes. All right, honeys, we'll talk to you later. See ya.